Hello, my name is Luna, and you're watching The Luna Show. And right now, you're about to meet Sol Penda'vis. Sol Penda'vis, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
You're like, I think, my first Penda'vis that I interview.
Wow.
You've been a Penda'vis for a very long time. Can you tell me your history with that and Avis and everyone you knew?
The Penda'vis I started after the House of Omni. I started with Kevin Omni. Then after that, I branched out to the House of Penda'vis with Jean Penda'vis. And then Avis took us on, and we continued from there. She taught us the crafts and gave us our qualifications to be a house member. Mm-hmm. And the test that we had to pass to become members, and that's how I became a Penda'vis.
Mm-hmm. And what was those tests?
Oh God! Well, everyone in our house had to walk Butch Queen first time in drag. We had to walk that, and then everybody in the house at that time, you either had to be employed, you had to be either in school or on your way to, or you had a definite means to support yourself. Mm-hmm. That was our requirement.
Yeah, that sounds like Avis.
Yeah.
Except I don't remember getting up in drags for Avis.
Because when you came in, we had already established ourselves by then.
So I know that you were in the film as well, in Paris is Burning.
Yes.
What was that like?
Wow, that was crazy. Because I had gone into the military 2 years prior to becoming a Penda'vis. So when the movie cast came down, Jenny Livingston sent us a contract to Germany and asked my commander, could I come back? So they flew me back from Germany. We filmed the movie, and then I flew right back from that back to Germany. And the experience was good. You know, I didn't know it was going to be as extensive as it was, but I'm glad that it became a well-known documentary for the youth coming up today.
Mm-hmm. Do you know that it was going to be a documentary?
I knew it was going to be a documentary,
as big as it was,
but I didn't think it was going to be as big as it was because I'm in the military, and you know, don't ask, don't tell. You know, and had I known they was going to exploit us, then that would have been a bad thing for me. But it never made it overseas until after I came back to the States, so I happened to have got through.
So the outfits that you were wearing, was that part of your uniform?
I just flew in. They picked me up from the airport. I did the video, and I flew back out. Me and my son.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's funny. I thought that was actually
a prop.
Yeah, like
Devin Penda'vis was also in the military. We flew in for the movie and we flew back out.
Oh, that's awesome though.
Yeah.
So, what were your categories at that time? Like, what did you walk? What you participated in?
When I first started, I walked, of course, Big Boys Realness, Models Effect, Executive, Costume, Bazaar, Evening Wear. Always one of Ava's props for her production. Mm-hmm. Then Kim and I started doing linen versus silk, leather versus suede, things like that. Mm-hmm. Basically, I touched a little bit of everything. Then I became the commentator when they didn't want me to walk no more.
Mm-hmm. And the balls then, you know, watching Paris is Burning and experiencing some of the later 80s and early 90s balls, do you miss those days?
I miss the real balls. Those were like competitive balls where it took craftsmanship, skill, ingenuity. It wasn't who you know, it was what you knew. I mean, people actually were talented back then, I would say. I mean, we had snake dances, snake charmers, we had ballet, we had Vogue extensively at that time, but just coming out as far as reaching extensions and things like that. But yeah, I believe they were really craftful. They had furriers and bead workers and things like that. It was exciting to see Vegas in New York.
Wow. And that's a nice way to put it.
That's what it was.
Because you always hear Dorian and
big plumes and back in those days,
beads.
You weren't fabulous without turkey boas. You had to have boas and plumes and furs and all that. But now it's like whatever you acquire.
So what do you think of the scene today? Since we're
I mean, I've gone to the last two balls, and I mean, I'm glad to see the young people have activities because that's basically how I look at it, like a underground activity to keep people off the streets and give them an interest and keep them functioning and active and healthy. But I think the ballroom scene is for us older people that's been in for a while. We look at it now as a way of seeing the youth being protected, trying to get unity, stick together, have something to do, opposed to being attacked, raided, and you know. So I think it's a good thing that they keep going, and you know, the further they go, hopefully the more creative they become.
So I know that Avis, you know, she passed away in 1995, and I remember that was a big deal for me because I love Avis. I still love Avis, and I still think of her all the time. saying it now, I feel like my eyes feel like on a tear. But tell me, what was Avis like for you? Like,
Whoa.
you know,
Okay. Well,
because a lot of people don't know
exactly.
you know, her like that.
Okay, I've been
So,
being honest about this. Well, when I first, that's why I came into the house with Jean,
hmm
and I had met Avis. I didn't come from that background, but drag queens were accepted. You know, I'm from Brooklyn. We did our share, you know, and me being a down low brother at the time, being in the military, I did what everybody else did. So we attacked them at first, drag queens. But then after meeting Avis, she basically was like a mother. Like, oh, I'm not having this. Smack you in the head, knock you down, whatever. And you couldn't roll up on her like no mother because she was still a dude, you know, in the older
hmm
way. But, you know, and then you start respecting her as that. And then, you know, she started giving me encouragement, advice, like, forget the ballroom scene. She was giving me advice on life, like, you know, education, things like that. She was very highly educated, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't know that. I mean, she could dictate a film and a movie and a book to you as if
I
she wrote it
know.
herself, you know? And so I started getting interested in that part of Avis. And then that's when she encouraged me to continue college. And she said, if I'm never around, go to college. And she said, promise me, promise me. So I said, I promise you I'll be some kind of doctor. So she used to call me Dr. Medicine. So when she passed away in 95, that's when I went back to continue my education. And last year I got my doctor's degree in psychology. So
Oh,
I hope she turn it
congratulations.
over a grave and say, that stupid little silly bitch did it. You know, but it's cool though. I'm glad.
Oh, she would have been so proud.
Exactly.
She came to my high school graduation.
I
I
know.
remember she was so she was smiling from like
She loved
ear to
see
ear,
us,
like.
yeah, she loved to see us progress. I give her that.
And I think that was what was so beautiful about her is that she, you know, you could win as many grand prizes as you want, but she was her most happiest when she knew that you
We were
were.
succeeding.
Yeah, succeeding in life.
Exactly. She actually, I had a birthday party, and she actually came to Brooklyn in a cab and met my mother, my family. We sat to the table, we partied and everything. And my mother said, where's this Avis guy you supposed to be with? I said, that's not right there you've been talking about. Oh, I thought that was a woman. So, you know, she got over with my mother, and I think she was a spoon coon. So that's when I really felt like she was a part of my family.
Mhm. So since the last Latex Ball in 2010, I noticed that more Penda'vis are popping up. Are you guys gonna come back and?
Well, at the last latex ball, Tanae and I discussed that maybe we should just like reestablish the members that we did have, and for those who we didn't have, for those who didn't have a house that wanted to be a part of, who didn't know how to act or were ashamed or shy or didn't have the experience, we decided to just pick them up and brush them off and teach them and nurture them, and hopefully we could do what Avis did to us and let's suit on with the house. So I think we decided then, I believe the beginning of this year is when we decided to reopen the house. So I took on the position as the father of the house.
So Penda'vis is back.
We're back.
Yay!
We're back.
So Tanae, I'm dying to get Tanae on film.
Yeah, she's very difficult. She's working as a makeup artist, so she travels a lot. So.
She's always been the same person to me too. She's very loving.
Well, that's today, but she's loving, but she's lovely. She's lovely and then loving. Okay, we'll leave it like that. But that's Tanae.
Yeah.
Forever. Tanae.
Ooh.
Whatever. We're in the house. We can say that. You was there with us, so you know we can say that.
Oh, I know, but you know.
Oh, let's go to the videotape. Click, blink it out. She won't cut me. No, but.
So what's next for you in the House of Penda'vis?
Well, we're supposed to be traveling to Detroit to visit our other house members out in Detroit and support them with their mini functions and stuff that they're having out there. So we're organizing some buses and things down to try to get as many new house members up, so this way they can travel to other cities and states and see how they do things there as well. Everything doesn't revolve around New York, even though most of it may have started here. But if the balls has extended out to other cities and states, then let's extend out and support our other house members.
Okay. So we're almost at the end. Is there something that you didn't tell us, like a little story or, you know, something that reminds you of the old days of ballroom?
I really can't wait to see a ball with all the old school categories and allow the new school to battle the old school.
Oh, that would be interesting.
And this way we can see where the ballroom scenes has gone from and where they are today.
Do you think a lot of the kids today are talented, though?
I believe they're very talented, but they're not getting a chance to extend it because the categories don't call for it. A lot of categories are not fashion categories. So.
Yeah, they got simpler, right?
It's just, everything is basically performance. So if you can spin and drop, you in.
Yeah.
So I spent $30 to go spin around on the floor. I'll do that at home and put it on a videotape, put it on YouTube. I have a bigger audience, but that's just what I think. I'm an old guy, so I don't think like that.
Do you see yourself participating and walking?
Well, maybe in a few categories in the future, but I don't really make that my extensive goal. I basically like supporting the new kids and helping them through stuff like that.
Okay. So, any last words you would like to let young people that watch the Luna Show, a message, a motto?
I would like to
from
say
Soul Penda'vis.
I would like to say, from our house to yours. No, that's Paula Dean. No. From old school ballroom to the new school ballroom, I like to say I wish you the best. I hope that your future endeavors are splendid and spectacular and as adventurous as ours has been. And I hope that a lot more people use the balls to extend themselves in their profession.
Well, thank you.
Bye.
Penda'vis. What was it Avis used to say? Penda'vis means punishment.
Punishment.
Remember that?
And it came from Penny.
Yeah.
That was our rules of the game.
Miss Penny.
Miss Penny.
All right. Well, thank you for this.
I thank you very much, Luna. It's always a privilege.